My wife laughed when I got fired. Good, maybe now you'll grow up and get a real job. What she didn't know is I planned my own firing. She said it right in front of our neighbors at the barbecue. Gloria from next door actually gasped. Even Larry stopped flipping burgers to stare at the train wreck unfolding on our back deck. Honey, that software stuff was never going anywhere anyway, she continued, taking another sip of wine. Now you can finally be serious about life. I just smiled and nodded. Didn't tell her about the severance package I'd negotiated. Didn't mention the non-compete clause I'd specifically avoided. And I definitely didn't tell her about the 3 competitors who'd been secretly bidding for my services. See, I'd been planning this for months, ever since she started those "when are you going to be successful" conversations. Ever since she began introducing me as my husband who works in computers with that little eye roll that made my stomach clench every single time. The breaking point was at her sister's wedding reception. While I was networking with potential clients, she told the entire bridal party table that I played with code all day like a teenager. The maid of honor actually asked if I was planning to get a grown-up job soon. Her aunt chimed in with advice about trade schools for people starting over. Even the bride's grandmother suggested I look into real estate. That's when I knew exactly what I had to do. I let my boss fire me for restructuring while my real assets sat in a separate LLC she knew nothing about. The patents, the client relationships, the proprietary algorithms I'd written on my own time using my personal equipment, all legally mine. But here's what really made it beautiful. I'd spent 6 months carefully documenting every dismissive comment she made about my work, every eye roll, every time she told someone I wasn't really successful yet. I had it all saved in a private folder labeled motivation, screenshots, voice recordings from when she was on speaker with her mother, even a video of her mocking my little computer games at our anniversary dinner. The conversations with headhunters had started 3 months before my firing. Microsoft reached out first, then Google, then Amazon, all wanting the same thing, the machine learning framework I developed that could predict supply chain disruptions with 94% accuracy. Something I'd built during those late nights. She complained about me wasting time in the basement. The best part? 2 days later, while she was still lecturing me about taking initiative and suggesting I apply to be a bank teller like her cousin Derek, I signed with Microsoft. Remote work, double my old salary, stock options that vest immediately, and a signing bonus that was more than she made in 2 years at her boutique marketing firm. But I didn't stop there. See, when you've been humiliated for months, you learn patience. I also had offers from Google and Amazon sitting in my email, both willing to wait while I considered my options. The bidding war had driven my value up another 60%. Tesla had even reached out about their autonomous driving project. I waited until she finished her speech about finally becoming an adult before sliding the Microsoft offer letter across the breakfast table. She was mid-sip of her coffee when her eyes hit the salary line. Her face went completely white, then red, then back to white. This is real? She stammered, looking at the Microsoft letterhead like it might disappear. Gets better, I said, pulling out my phone. Amazon's offering 40% more, and Google wants to discuss equity that could be worth 8 figures. She just sat there, coffee cup frozen halfway to her lips, staring at numbers she'd told people I'd never see. But I thought, she started. You thought wrong, I said, standing up, about a lot of things. The neighbors? They found out at Larry's next barbecue when she spent the entire evening bragging about her brilliant husband's new position at Microsoft. Gloria kept giving me these knowing looks, remembering exactly what she'd said 2 weeks prior. Even brought up how she'd always known I was destined for big things. But the real kicker came a month later. My old company, they tried to poach me back with a counteroffer worth triple my previous salary. Turns out the restructuring that cost me my job actually cost them their biggest client, the one who specifically requested my expertise. They were hemorrhaging money without the system I'd built. Sometimes the best revenge is just letting someone show you exactly who they are, then quietly becoming everything they said you couldn't be. The divorce papers came 2 months later. Turns out success was only attractive to her when she could take credit for it.